We are back, right, for another bloody episode of the Road to Making Bank podcast.
Absolutely.
Welcome, everyone. How you going, Luka?
Doing very well, Shernon. Doing very well on this lovely Sunday evening. A warm Sunday evening here in Melbourne, which is different, but welcoming.
Nice.
Well,
it's getting towards summer there, hey?
Second day of summer. Third day of summer. Sorry.
Oh, yeah, right. I'm so bad with seasons. I've always been... Never know when they start, stop.
We're into it now.
The order of them.
We are into it.
It's the, over the cold season in Melbourne, that's the important thing.
It has been, well, in saying that, it has been raining the last 4 days.
Yeah. Well, you got to make the most of those 10 to 15 days of sunshine in summer and
Will do.
Get out there down at the beach, Luka.
Yeah, it was literally pouring rain, like torrential rain. Like flood warnings. So
the weather's turned awesome here in Thailand. Just sunny days every day, no rain, warm, less humidity. So I think I can see why this is the popular season here for sure. So it's good. All right, let's get straight into it. Hey,
let's do it.
All right, so macro musings, macro factors that are affecting our lives from a top-down level. All this big stuff can affect our decisions, investment decisions, location decisions. So we'll get into it. Elon Musk, Luka, did he give Disney the finger, or he just gave advertisers in general the finger?
I think he was talking about advertisers. Who were pulling out from, and I'm not sure why. I might have to just do a quick search.
Yeah, no, I think I looked it up a little bit. I saw one quick video, and apparently it was because, like, when I could be wrong, but like when ads show up, it showed up next to some undesirable content or something, but it wasn't like directly related. But I can't remember what the content was. I know there's like some accusations that Elon Musk is anti-Semitic or something, but you can't believe any of that shit these days. So but it wasn't like, I think it wasn't like, like a video or something that has shown up, like an ad that has shown up on like some apparently abhorrent video or something. I think it was like something next to each other, like something like that. So unless you can find it, I think that was it. And then I saw some clip of Elon with this MSNBC host, I think. Some dude, I've never heard of him, but apparently he doesn't have much of a reputation, that the MSNBC host.
It says here, social media company X faces a prospect of more advertisers fleeing and has no clear fix in sight. An industry expert said after billionaire Elon Musk lashes out some of the biggest brands for dropping the platform. Walt Disney, Warner Brothers, Discovery suspended advertising on X earlier this month following Musk's endorsement of an anti-Semitic post that falsely claimed members of the Jewish community were stoking hatred against white people. After apologizing for his post while speaking at the New York Times Dealbook event on Wednesday, Musk unleashed a profanity-laced tirade against advertisers for fleeing the platform and accused the brands of blackmail. Companies need to protect brands, the brands they work for. Founder of marketing consultancy. This isn't advertisers getting together in a secret clubhouse to support an agenda.
Like a coordinated effort, maybe. But I don't know what he said, but yeah, who knows? Who knows what to believe? And I don't see Elon Musk as a someone that would endorse anything that bad. So but yeah, it was funny how on this talk show the host is like tries to bring up these, like, the advertisers are fleeing. Musk just goes, yeah, go fuck yourself. Fuck yourself. He just kept saying it. It was great. So, yeah, who knows what happens. I'm a fan of, yeah, I've used Twitter X for maybe, I don't know, maybe a year or something. And yeah, it's probably like the biggest platform that still prioritizes free speech, I guess. There's not much censorship or whatever, or hardly anything. So, yeah, I don't think there's like accounts are getting shut down or whatever that much these days for saying, just having a different opinion or whatever. So it seems to be a lot of free exchange on there, which is good. And anyone, I very much understand the concept of free speech and why it's important and why you shouldn't be censoring people. So props to Elon Musk to telling people to go fuck themselves.
Well, yeah, and that we're talking about having FU money.
Yeah.
So which is, I guess, when you've got that much money that you can say that. But sometimes it's not about money, is it? Like sometimes some people just are happy to speak their mind, no matter what the cost, as long as they're keeping in touch with their own values.
And when you're the richest man in the world, it's easier to be yourself. Yeah, I don't think X is the best position financially, but I don't think he didn't buy it for money. He bought it as like a because he thought it'd be better for society and humanity to have a free exchange platform or whatever, or he thought he could make it better. So yeah, I don't know if the user base has dropped off. I think maybe just the advertisers are getting a bit
Well, it says X's US monthly users dip after Musk buyout in late 2022.
That's a while ago there. It could have picked back up, but yeah, I don't know. Maybe it hasn't. But
Well, it says October 70 US monthly active users. I don't know how they're measuring.
Say that
but
again, sorry?
It says 72 min. Or is that MLN? I think
72 million.
72 million. And it's down to 60 million, under 60 million from October 2023.
Okay, so was that down 10 million or whatever? Yeah,
which isn't crazy.
No, I don't know. It seems to be pretty popping at the moment anyway. You don't have an X account, do you, Luka?
No.
I used to be like... I used to think I'm never getting on Twitter. But after Elon Musk bought it, I decided to hop on. And that's it's been okay. It's there's a lot of, there can be witness a lot of toxic kind of ridiculous comments and fighting and stuff a little bit, but it's not like, you don't have to follow that stuff as well. You can follow like business stuff, sports stuff. Yeah. So I think in general it's a positive thing. Yeah. It's I don't use Facebook. And so it's kind of like my only social media thing, I guess. Besides, I use Instagram, but I only follow like business stuff on there. So, whereas I follow a bit of everything on X. So, yeah. FU money, hey, Luka?
Yeah, well, I saw a video. I was going to say FU money. I saw a quick video on Instagram, and it was Dana White, and he was talking to Theo Von. And I think Dana White was saying that one of their sponsors, major sponsors, told him not to. Dana White being the owner of the UFC.
Oh, right.
Yeah, one of their sponsors told him not to vote for Donald Trump. And he was like, and yeah, he's he's like, yeah, he's like, he's like, do you know what I said to them? I said, fuck you. Don't you ever tell me who to vote for. That was pretty funny.
Yeah, Jesus. How's that, hey?
Yeah, he was just like...
Sponsors is telling you how to vote.
But yeah, it was pretty interesting. He was just like, yeah, people have to stand up for themselves. Otherwise, people will start... They'll get away with shit like that if people don't stand up for themselves, I guess.
Yeah, you give them an inch and they'll take a mile or whatever. So, yeah, no, I think Elon's doing all right with X, and yeah, I think he's done good with Tesla. He's done a lot of good stuff. So, props to him.
How's the gold going?
Yeah, gold. So gold has hit record highs in US dollars, I think. We didn't find out exactly if it was all-time record high or end of the month highs, monthly close highs, but it's currently at 2,072 US dollars. And, everyone in the macro scene, everyone's saying 2,000 is the kind of resistance level. And if it gets up to 2,100, it's probably not going to break down below 2,000 again. And yeah, silver is, let's go to silver quickly. Silver is $25.40.
Well, so that's
49 US.
Dropped a bit.
No, it looks like it looks.
I mean,
looks
it
like
was
it's
in
been
the
straight up for a little while.
I thought it was in the 30s a while ago.
I think you might be thinking Australian dollar. So that's 25. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Australian dollar is close to the recent all-time highs now as well, $38.21.
Okay.
Which is very good for me because I've a little bit invested in that. So
someone's happy with themselves.
Yeah. Yeah, but this, the gold, the metals prices reflect, broader macro landscape. So I think there's what's happened in the bond markets? There was something happening. I think generally liquidity is drying up. I think. Oh shit! I did make a point earlier in this week to talk about this, but I forgot. But anyway, there's probably action in the bond markets and repo markets and all that. Maybe the repo markets. I watched a Jeff Snyder video where he was talking about international repo markets and that sort of liquidity drying up there maybe. So for anyone that doesn't know, repo market is a repurchase. It's short for repurchase agreement. So banks can they loan to each other based on collateral. So it's like an overnight or 2-day loan where one party wants some cash, the other party gives them cash, but they need collateral in return, and what they usually hold as collateral is treasury bonds. So one bank will give them a bond for a couple of days, and the other bank gives them some money, and the bank that lends them the money makes a small percentage. So, and yeah, those rates sort of drive interest rates in other markets and whatever. So, it's like a relatively low risk rate or whatever. So, I'm always learning on that, but I think that's the general gist of it. Does that make sense, Luka?
I'm not totally around that, no.
Yeah. It's pretty much like a bank will loan someone money for a house, and the house is sort of collateral, but in this exchange they're using bonds as collateral, and it's just super short term, like a day or two.
And what is a bond? Clarify what a bond is.
We did this on the last episode. So a bond is it's just like a contract where you can have corporate bonds and treasury bonds or whatnot. So treasury is a deal with the government where you buy this bond and the money goes to the treasury, and then they pay you a coupon rate, which could be 5% now or something. So they'll pay it every 3 months or whatever. I've never actually bought one, so I don't know, but it's my understanding. And at the end of a certain period, like a 10-year period, you'll get all your money back, and you've collected all that interest over the coupon period. So
yeah, but when you say they're buying,
does that make sense?
When they're buying, yeah, I get that. But as a package, if you say I'm buying a bond, what are you buying? So the bond,
You're just buying a contract.
Okay, so you're buying the actual contract.
Yeah, as I understand it. Yep. So you own this piece of paper or whatever, or the digital certificate or something, whatever it is now. And it's an asset though, because you're getting a yield from it, and it costs you a certain amount of money up front, and you're getting an interest rate, and that what you're paying for it. I mean, the money you make from the interest rate, from the interest return, where you're getting from the payments, take the price of the actual bond. That's the yield. They call that the yield. So there's that difference. Yeah. So it's just like an asset, and you can buy, sell, and trade it. And that's what these banks do in the repo market. So, yeah. If anyone wants to learn more about that, hit up George Gammon videos for sure. If you want to learn the mechanics of repo market and stuff. Does that clear things up, Luka?
So slightly a little bit better understanding. So it's basically you've created an investment where you've created a loan contract with someone, and you're getting interest back on that loan, and then that's the contract that you have. And then when you go to borrow money off the bank, you say, hey, can I borrow some money up front? I've got this loan and I'll give it to you as collateral because it's making this much money over X amount of time, and it's like a good investment, and you can have it in exchange for the money that I'm borrowing. And then I'll pay you back when I'm ready, and I'll take my bond back. Is that how it works? Or they keep the bond?
Yeah, it's usually a fixed term though, so I think it's really short term, like overnight or 2 days or something.
Oh, okay.
And
cool.
yeah, and I think it's just interbank. I don't think the normal average Joe can do this. Yeah,
Bank
I'm pretty
to
sure.
bank.
I don't know. Yeah,
cool.
I don't. These things are pretty complicated, but I could have some things wrong, but I think that's the general gist of it. It's just like, if I loan you money or someone I don't know that well, I want something, if they give me their car, it's like, that's like collateral, I guess.
Our point is, everyone,
bonds.
Is that gold is up almost at an all-time high.
This is the best collateral, gold, at this present time. I would say the safest.
And Shernon's happy.
Yes, one of the better decisions I've made. Learning about precious metals and the nature of money and whatnot. So yeah.
Nice.
Cool. So yep, gold, silver up, and it's safety. In an inflationary world, prices are going up. It's you're preserving your purchasing power. So if anyone's thinking about hedging against the risk of consumer price inflation. It's, look into it, I guess. And, maybe the first thing you could look at is Mike Maloney's Hidden Secrets of Money. That can give you a decent overview. I think it's a 7 or 8 part documentary series. I'll put the link in the show notes. So, yeah. Moving on, I wanted to mention Peter Schiff litigation. So, Peter Schiff is a economist, investor. He's a media commentator as well. Has been for years. He called the 2008 financial crisis. He made a lot of money on that, and he's a libertarian. He's a proponent of Austrian economic theory, and he's just an educator as well. Like, I've listened to his podcast for about at least probably 5 years now, 4 or 5 years, and it's pretty much just like a school in Austrian economic theory, and yeah, just learned so much from him, and he really goes through really good practical examples of things. He's just really good at explaining stuff. Just something like the negative unintended consequences of implementing a minimum wage or a high minimum wage. He just rips it apart so good, and I've learned a lot from him. Anyway, he's a good dude. He's spoken. He's a libertarian. He's spoken out against big government and that, and this could possibly be why he's been targeted in this litigation. So, actually, no, it was. Yeah, I think one of the part of the evidence that the lawyers put forward was that he doesn't believe in paying high taxes or something like if that was evidence of criminal activity or some shit. But there was no evidence of wrongdoing found. So what actually happened for the audience, I explained a little bit to Luka before. Peter Schiff had his bank shut down by Puerto Rico, and was kind of a victim of an ambush kind of interview, and like a story that was essentially fabricated, I guess, by this journalist Nick McKenzie, and another one called Charlotte Grieve was complicit as well. And basically, from the result of publishing this defamatory 60 Minutes interview, which they finally took down, I think it took like years, they didn't take it down. He got his bank shut down, and all the customers of the bank still to this day haven't been able to withdraw their money. And they're a full reserve bank, so they have all the money there for the customers. And the customers haven't been able to get their money because it's tied up in some bullshit Puerto Rican thing. And there hasn't been any evidence of wrongdoing. Like, quite the opposite. Everything they found was that he was squeaky clean compliance and everything, and like accepting, like taking on customers that that there's regulations like you can't take on customers that have criminal records and that. He did everything like to a high standard. Plus, they're a full reserve bank. They don't do anything dodgy. That was why they're a good bank. That's why they had these customers, I guess. And basically, there was a 60 Minutes hit piece, and pretty much destroyed his bank. And he reckons he's lost up to $25 million. But years of litigation and whatever, and he got ruled. So he won every single count. I think it was 7 defamatory imputations. I'll just read quickly because, and like, I think this is important because, it's just mainstream media. You can't trust them now. And this dude won an award 2 days later after being found guilty of fabricating a story and guilty of defamation. So, Peter Schiff, today I won my defamation case against Nine, The Age, Nick McKenzie, Charlotte Grieve and Joel Tozer. Justice Jackman of the Federal Court of Australia entered judgment in the sum of $550,000 against each of them in my favour, which is in excess of the statutory cap for damages for defamation. So in Australia, there's a cap of like something like 450,000, which you can't pay more for damages, even if there's more damages. So I don't know why that is, but this victory is a mark of the appalling conduct I suffered at the hands of these publishers. I'm grateful to the Federal Court of Australia for its efficiency and expertise, which has led to this result. I was in the fortunate position of having the means to hold these powerful media entities and their journalists to account. But in order to get to this point, I had to win 7 judgments over 2 years, in which the court agreed I had been seriously defamed and there were no arguable defences. The respondents' unreasonable resistance at every step of this litigation and loss of these 7 judgments caused unnecessary delays and costs and aggravated my harm. The court described the respondents' litigation conduct as egregious and disarming. The court also ordered Channel 9 and The Age pay my costs on an indemnity basis for the past 23 months of unnecessary litigation. I will continue to work to expose this injustice and to hold the media to account for their extremely damaging and irresponsible falsehoods. Today's victory is just the first legal step in my journey. It is not the end of the process, just the beginning. It was completely irresponsible to publicise any investigation in the pre-charge stage. There is good reason authorities don't announce investigations into suspects until charges are laid. No charges have ever been laid against me or my bank, but I have to live with the extreme damage caused by these quotation mark journalists' irresponsible decision to prematurely publish an investigation which concluded without charges. Yeah, so there was an investigation, like some random investigation into his bank, but nothing was found or there was no charges or whatever. So I think that was a reason why they decided to go after him or something, these journalists. But yeah, it's pretty complicated. Worse still, they decided to broadcast that I was guilty of offences for which I've never been charged. It is disgraceful that the journalists decided to do so when their own investigation and discussions with staff and customers revealed the bank had extremely strict compliance. I'm grateful to the unrelenting determination and professionalism of my team of lawyers, Sue Crisanto, SC, and Nicholas Olson and Nathan Buck of Kennedy's, which helped me achieve this outcome. So yeah, you got Brett Johnson from Santiago Capital says, congrats, Peter. Happy to see this decision. I weep for all those who don't have the resources to battle this inexorable and vicious enemy, the corporate media engine. Thanks for being on the front lines of truth and sanity. So, yeah, just like really shocking, infuriating story for me for some reason. Like and then, all right, I have another article. So this is published on November 23, 2 days after the defamation ruling. And this is a Sydney Morning Herald article. The Sydney Morning Herald and The Age investigative journalist Nick McKenzie, who was found guilty, or was him found guilty, and Channel 9 and The Age, I'm not sure, they're all found guilty, I guess, has been awarded the Special Walkley Honour for Media Freedom, along with investigative journalist Chris Masters as part of this prestigious annual journalism awards. The pair received the honour at the 68th Walkley Awards for Excellence in Journalism, held in Sydney on Thursday night, for some story about disgraced Special Forces soldier. I don't know that story. Alongside the honour, the Masters/McKenzie grant for investigative journalism was announced in their names, awarding $10,000 to a recipient each year. So this guy has got a grant, I guess it's an award, in his name 2 days after he's been found guilty of defamation. So that is the world we live in, Luka. And congratulations to Peter Schiff and him standing his ground. And yeah, you know, and thanks to him for providing all the education to me so in the past. Yeah, you got any thoughts about that one, Luka?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Shernon's still a little bit. He wants to believe in the system. I
don't believe in the system. That's why I'm trying to expose it.
Yeah, I mean, it's certainly outrageous. There's a lot of like outrageous and crazy things out there. This kind of reminds me of that case that what's that? It was like that Australian basketballer, Andrew Bogut. Is he Australian?
Yeah, Andrew Bogut.
Yeah, he had a podcast where he spoke to these people who had like a catering company, and they were catering food, I think, for like aged care facilities or something like that. And they,
I cook foods.
Yeah,
and then there was an issue with the Sluggate. I can't remember exactly what it's about, but
yeah. It
was corruption, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's everywhere, and yeah, I mean, good on him for winning. And it sounds like, I mean, hopefully it's a warning for journalists as well as the companies that they work for.
Yeah, and it's weird because there hasn't been any Australian media hasn't publicised this, so which is
I mean, they're not going to publicise it because they are the publicators.
Yeah, but it's almost like, would Channel 7 want to do this to like hurt Nine? But it's almost like they're all in the game together, aren't they? And
yeah, I guess.
Yeah, so it's
I mean,
it's pretty.
You do it to one company. I'm sure they've got stuff on Channel 9's probably got stuff on Channel 7 as well. There's probably just an agreement that anything that looks bad on the media in general should just be, forgotten as soon as possible.
Swept
under the rug. I think
there's a term for that.
There's probably
protecting their own.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably fair game sort of when it comes to trying to win a contract. Like they'll probably hang shit on each other when they're trying to win a deal. But if it's going to make everyone look bad, then it's probably not worth doing. Would be my guess.
And when I look, that's true, man. And when I looked this up quickly before, it's like all these other articles of Channel 9 being guilty of defamation in the past. It's like, this isn't out of the ordinary, really. I've taken an interest in this. If it was someone else, I wouldn't have worried about it. It's because like I've been listening to his podcast for years, and he's talked about this case on the podcast. So I kind of know, most of what's gone down, and plus, I'm a fan of his podcast as well. So it's just been interesting in that regard. But yeah, no, I'm not saying like, like I'm not a believer in the system. I'm more just like spreading more awareness to like other people that do believe in the the mainstream media engine, I guess. So just be careful, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. With the media that you consume, I guess. Yeah.
And I guess the other thing is the legal system isn't always right. So it took him a couple of goes for that to come through as well. So, innocent until proven guilty is, when people appeal things and it's like actually turn it around, which is also an interesting point.
That's another thing to take into account. Yeah, corruption in the courts and shit. But
because if this guy,
but I think with this one, generally you kind of believe it because there's no real motive for.
Well, I mean, yeah, if this guy didn't have the money to keep fighting him, then he would have just looked like the bad guy. It's only because he had the money to keep fighting him and to do the appeals and, hang around for 2 years and fight back that he finally had it appealed.
Oh, no, it wasn't an appeal. It was all just... No, it wasn't... He won everything.
Oh, so this is like a single hearing that's just taken 2 years.
Yeah, because Channel 9 have fought at every stage. They haven't admitted wrongdoing. No, I think they did, and then they changed, and then they went back to a different position about doing anything wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, so there's been no appeal. He's just won everything.
Okay, well, I take all that back then.
Yeah. I was wondering what you were getting at, but yeah. Innocent people have been affected, It's if you can't get your money out of the bank, it's been frozen. It affects your life in a lot of ways. And these journalists alleged journalists are just absolutely I don't know. I could say a lot of things about them.
Let's keep moving. What else we got?
Yep. All right, that's out of the way. Zig Ziglar quote of the day. Do you want to read this out, Luka? It's my one, but maybe you can just read it out.
You can have everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. So yeah, you'll get what you want as long as you help enough other people get what they want. So I guess
I like that one.
Helping other people first, and then I guess this pretty much goes in line with I think last week's quote, which was solve a problem for 1 billion people and charge them all $1.
Yeah. Similar, yeah.
Kind of the same thing in a way, I guess. It's just the more people you help, the more value you provide, the more you get in return.
Yeah, and I guess, it's good to have these little things to remember when you're trying to get into a business or provide a product or service. So kind of guides the way, I guess. So, just thought I'd mention that. That was a guy called Zig Ziglar. I think he's passed away now, but that's I'm doing a Miles Beckler course, so he mentioned that quote, which I thought was really cool.
Zig Ziglar. What a name as well.
Yeah, Zigs. Zigs.
Yeah,
Word
2
of the day.
Zigs.
Killing it.
Surely it would have gone Zag.
Zig Zaglar.
Zag Ziglar.
I like that one. Zag Ziglar.
Zag Zigzag.
I like it. All right, now we are going to do a bit of an exercise. We'll kind of go through it. Yeah, we haven't fully developed our answers. I've written something down. I think Luke hasn't really written anything down, but we'll give it a crack. So, it's questions to ask yourself when you're going into a business and identifying what niche you're going to go into or what industry. Instead of kind of taking a stab in the dark or whatever, it could be good to ask these questions when you're trying to identify a product or service, target audience or niche. Should we get into this, Luka?
Yeah, let's do it. Who are you going to help? Shernon?
All right, so with my content website business, it'll be an audience that, kind of, wants to go to a website in the morning. I'll read what I've written down actually. So people that look forward to sitting down with a coffee in the morning to scroll a website, read blogs, articles, feel engaged with the community, and feel like they have learnt about an interesting topic. They have a desire to increase awareness and understanding of how global macro events could influence their lives and how they can position themselves to benefit by taking action. Location-independent entrepreneurs that wish to learn about tools and software that, when implemented, will increase productivity for their business. I guess offering a clear return on time investment. So that's the vibe. I want to do a kind of international strategy website where I guess my differentiation would be I want to combine macro news and international strategies in locations where you want to live. Something, maybe something in the vein of nomad capitalists, wealthy expat, offering that sort of information, but melding it together with lifestyle. So, that could be cigars, books, whiskey, guitars, kind of like melding that together and like maybe sort of creating a community about that, around that. So that is the general vibe of the target audience, I guess.
Yeah, and I guess if you're creating something that's unique to you and your interests, then it's going to be different to everyone else. And you'll have your own audience.
Yeah. Which could be unique, yeah. So, there's kind of stuff like this out there, but, when I think about what I'd like to look at in the morning on a website, I guess that's what I'm trying to recreate perhaps. And, I understand that I'm a pretty, I'm a minority in the way my philosophy of how I see the world. So yeah, it could be cool to bring people together. So how about you, Luka? If you were to, you haven't identified clear business you want to do yet, but who would you want to help unless you want to think of something hypothetical or something like that.
Well, I think I could help different people. So all different demographics of people. Certainly different age ranges. So I guess age wouldn't necessarily be a factor. I don't think gender would necessarily have to be a factor.
Yeah.
Maybe people that have fears that they want to overcome, or fears that are sort of affecting someone's life. People who are looking for passion or inspiration. People who aren't sure where to start or how to maximize their potential or utilize their potential. People looking to change. Yeah.
Cool. That sounds like. Yeah. Sorry. Keep going.
Yeah, I guess they're the kind of things that I would like to affect.
Yeah. Cool. Well, that sounds like the kind of personal development space, I guess, right?
Yeah, I suppose so.
Coaching or something. I'm just thinking about the industry you go into.
Yeah, and I suppose, like I said in the past, having nature being a contributor of that, and helping to create that connection between topics and people trying to connect with certain ideas and beliefs and whatnot. So yeah, still working it out
helping
slowly.
people with their mind, maybe helping people with their mindset. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or,
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Yeah. Cool.
Mindset, health, and well-being. I mean, I guess the topics that
Well-being, yeah.
everyone talk about is health and well-being, love and relationships, and wealth and money. They're the kind of three categories that most people are interested in.
Yeah. That's a Hormozy thing, isn't it?
Not necessarily. I learned that at the Iconic Speaker event.
Yeah. I learned that from Hormozy Offers, I think.
I mean, there's so many people that have said that, though.
Yeah.
I think it's just kind of like a general, like a introductory comment that people mention it. Yeah, so I guess those trying to maybe combine all of those things into one, I guess, sort of covers you. But then, yeah, niche down and make it specific.
Cool, man. I'm envisioning a retreat out in like Kyneton or Dalesford or something, like in Victoria, and I could see you out there, you know.
Yeah, I don't know.
Around that fire with the sauna and the bush sauna and the lake and jumping in the lake and yeah.
Yeah, I think retreats.
Yay, nay?
Nah,
Not a retreat.
like when I hear retreat, it kind of sounds wanky to me.
Yeah.
Like when I hear
I don't think
retreat,
I'd ever go on one, but
yeah. When I hear retreat, I think like massages and yoga ceremonies, like yoga meditations and cacao ceremonies. When I hear retreat, which is great, and I wouldn't mind going on one. But that's what I envision when I hear retreat, and that's not what I want people to think about when I'm trying to present a course or a program. Okay. So I wouldn't call it a retreat.
Would you do it in person or?
I think I'd actually do. I'd probably be more likely to do actual jobs, like rather than a retreat.
Tasks,
like it's an actual contract for a job. You know.
No, I'm not quite sure. Explain it a bit more.
Like, let's say if we were doing forestry, like let's say there was people who wanted to overcome some sort of fear or wanted to do like a team building exercise, I would get a contract like at a plantation and they need 500 trees cut down. So I'd organize a contract to get these 500 trees cut down and try and include this group of people into that contract and try and get them to work together or team them up with each one teams up with an arborist or a forestry fella or something. I don't know, but like
you want to facilitate
facilitate a program, but with a genuine purpose outside of like have like an actual task, like a goal. Like if you've got if you go to a retreat and you play like a team building exercise, you might say, okay, guys, break up into teams of 3, and I want you to build the tallest structure from this deck of cards. And each team gets 52 cards, and you all have to build the tallest structure that you can, and you've got 5 minutes to do it. So everyone's doing this team building exercise, and they're trying to build a tower of cards. But rather than it being a tower of cards, it would be like an actual, like maybe like a community service project or something. You know, like something that actually needs to get done. Does that make sense or not?
Um. Okay, so you've got this team building the
Like
card house.
Yeah. So instead of them building a
I don't
card,
think I get it.
instead of them being on a retreat and doing this card building exercise, put them in an actual, get like an actual task that needs to be completed, whether it's by a private company or like a Fiverr contract or an Upwork contract or a government project or a council project or, you know, like a
Cool. So
a
you've got
local,
a team of workers.
just a team of
that
people
can go in and do this.
and you just get them to do it. Like a job that doesn't necessarily require certain expertise, or maybe it does, and you group people together and they just have to come up with a solution to a genuine problem.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that could be cool. Like, just like problem-solving team.
Yeah.
Like a multi-skilled problem-solving team.
Yeah.
Something. But like, and then you can incorporate it with your values, like, you know.
Like let's say
your nature thing.
Yeah. Yeah, like I don't know, like there's 10,000 bits of rubbish on the beach, and then instead of sending people on a retreat, we put them together, and instead of them building cards, they have to try and find a solution to pick up this 10,000 pieces of rubbish by the end of the week. And how are they going to do it? Or they have to come up with a solution and then they actually genuinely present that solution.
Yeah, cool. All right. Yeah, cool. So you'd have a team of people providing this service, and you just help people out with kind of obscure problems, I guess, or can be done in like a sustainable way or some shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
So
it's cool.
No, it's cool. It's cool to think about.
Yeah, I like it. That's a new idea. So
new idea.
Add it in.
Awesome. Okay, we'll move on. How are you going to help them? So for me, it would be writing good content that adds value to their lives, recommending products that can help them, or providing a product. Yeah, pretty simple, really. How about you, Luka?
I think this might
I guess you've explained it.
Yeah. I think this might sound a bit this might sound a bit wanky, but I feel like when people pray for help or wish for something, either something happens or someone happens. And what I mean by that is usually like if someone prays to God for help, for example, usually someone comes in. If their prayer is answered, it's usually an event that happens that they ask for, or it's a person that comes into their life and changes, and helps them.
Okay.
And I guess for me, growing up in a Catholic family, I was probably in my early teens when I kind of didn't, started to question the whole church dynamic and the relationship between the church and God and the individual.
Yep.
It was kind of like, well, if I can, if I can pray to God at home, then what do I need to go to church for? And why do I need to give people money? And why is there a hierarchy of people in charge of, you know, who talks to God and whatnot. And yeah, I just didn't really gel with me. But I do like the idea of humanity, and I think as individuals, because I guess I've grown up and I've seen religious people who have acted outside of the religious values that they preach, and I've also seen non-religious people live by what you would say are typical religious values without having to be religious themselves. And so I think it's probably, you know, the good nature of humanity. And I guess if you encompass humanity, there are positive and negative aspects. But what I'm saying is, rather than people relying on help from outside of themselves, often that help does come from, you know, somewhere else, but it's usually someone else that helps them. So I guess my point being that potentially I could help people as me as an individual, but bringing people together, maybe the right people, you know, they can help each other more so than me personally helping them.
Cool. So facilitating, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. I guess that might just be like a very
I like it. I like how you
obscure definition of
foundation.
Of facilitating. Yeah.
I like the story, man.
Yeah,
we like stories here on the road to making bank.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
I'm not the best storyteller, to be honest, so it's good.
On the road to facilitation, we can call that. But yeah, so I guess that's I think people as peers we can all help each other. You know, like in school, you're doing a math exercise in class, the teacher explains it to everyone. Some kids don't get it and they ask their friend next to them to help them, kind of thing. And I guess this could kind of be the same thing. Everyone has their own problem in life, and you sort of learn as much from the person that's teaching as you do from the people around you that are also going through it with you at the same time. So
yeah, cool. Well, how about, you know, I'm just thinking here, what about if you build a community, build like an online portal or something, or can be in person as well. You could do both. You can incorporate all this personal development stuff, and you can build a community where people can help each other. I think, you know, what comes to mind now is I'm doing this little course from Matt Gray, who made herb.com, which is like a cannabis community. And he I haven't been on there, but I think the whole thing is just like, it's just a community where people, they help each other out and shit. I don't know how his site works, but how's that sound?
yeah, that's good. People just helping each other out.
I guess that's what I want to do with my thing as well.
But I guess that, I mean, there is that, but there has to be some sort of incentive as well.
Incentive for you or your customer?
Well,
or the person?
I mean, it has to be sort of done in a way where it is replenishing, like where it replenishes the community every time. Like,
you can do a donation-based system. Doesn't have to be, you know,
yeah, but
like
what do the donations go to?
Maintaining the website.
Yeah, but I mean, like there's Facebook groups for, you know, that you can set up of communities of people.
Yeah, but
just
You could add different elements,
yeah.
unique elements.
Well, yeah, I guess we'd have to find out what those elements are. But yeah, I like the idea of a community.
I mean, you could do it. It doesn't just have to be online. You know, obviously, everything's better in person. But I don't know. In this digital age, it's pretty convenient to have shit online.
I mean, there was this thing,
especially if you want location independence.
Yeah, there was this thing
I
found.
You could do this thing. Yeah. I was going to say quickly, you could do this thing. You could do this globally, you know, and then you could have little communities all over the world that you can go and hang out in. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, no, I like it. There was this. I was just going to say, it reminds me of this. This group that I found years and years ago, and it was this woman who'd started this community, and it was just basically like a couple of people they'd just meet. I don't know how often, but they'd meet physically in this room, and like someone would stand up and say what their problem was or what they needed help with, and then everyone in the room would just, if they could help or if they knew someone that could help, they'd just say, like, you know, I broke my leg and I don't know what to do. And one person stands up and says, oh yeah, my best mate is a doctor. He can have a look at it for you. And like another person might stand up and say, oh yeah, you know, my friend sells crutches in his store, so he could probably get you some crutches. And another person would say something else. So it's just like, and they found out that, you know, as the community grew, as there was more and more people, every time someone stood up, they actually realized that they had enough people in the room to kind of solve the individual person's problems. And so this community started growing because people were benefiting it, and people had the opportunity to have their problems solved, and also had the opportunity to give back and offer solutions.
Cool, and that was all in person, yeah?
Yeah.
So it happens in real time.
Yeah. And, cool. Well, yeah, I mean, there were people in a room, like meeting up in a function room or something, I guess. But yeah, then they were able to solve problems. And I guess that's kind of we'd probably just call that networking today. But I guess the purpose, that was just the purpose of that community, was to bring people together and try and solve problems as a group.
Yeah, nice.
And I did try to find something like that in Melbourne. Like, I can't remember the lady's name, but it became like a kind of like a global thing. But yeah. I lost it a long time ago. I couldn't find the details.
What came to mind just for me then was just, you know, alcoholics groups and stuff. So I'm mates with a couple of guys who are like recovering alcoholics, or different stuff here in Bangkok, and they still go sometimes, I think. And I guess that's just getting help from a group like that. So always value there, I guess. Yeah, I've never really done anything like that, I think, unless it's part of like a course or school or some shit. But yeah, cool. All right, moving on. Who are you passionate about helping? For me, it'd be like-minded individuals eager to form a community and be inspired. So just pretty basic though. Maybe I could go deeper, but I guess it's like-minded people at the end of the day. Try and, you know, build a community, which we've been talking about. So how about you, Luka? Who would you be passionate about helping?
I'd be passionate about helping people who want help but don't know how. Like, I don't know, for me personally, I guess for me personally, I've always kind of just been probably that kind of seeker, always looking, always trying to figure out.
There you go, man. www.seeker.com.
Yeah, trying to figure out I've just never understood life, like I just never really understood it. So I'm just
You
always,
never will, man. We never will.
yeah, but it just bothers me. I just like, even on just I guess I just see people going about their day and living their lives, and I'm just, yeah, I just want, I don't know. I just feel like I
So you
just
want
don't
to,
get it.
yeah, maybe you want to
Um,
help like similar people, I guess, similar to you.
yeah,
You
and
can help everyone, but maybe there's too many people. It's like,
yeah, I guess, yeah, I'm not really sure. I mean, at this point, just from not having anything to go by, um, people who maybe feel like there's something bothering them, but they don't know what it is.
okay, that unknown. All right.
Like
Yeah, people
they know that there's something there, but they
searching.
don't know what it is.
Yeah, or maybe they're in a bad place personally, mentally. You know.
Yeah, maybe just anyone
Um,
who needs help. I
yeah,
guess.
yeah.
Yeah,
Searching for it. Maybe people who are willing to, you know, reach out and do something about it. And yeah, but I guess we can't help everyone, Luka. We can't help. It'd be great to help. I don't know if I want to help everyone. But yeah.
Maybe you can. Maybe that's what it can be called. One help. You just help one person. If everyone helps one person.
One help. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Possibly. All right. Think about that one.
Yeah.
Let's move on. What particular struggles have you been through in your life that you could help someone else get through in the same manner? So, in the terms of my idea, it'd be maybe for me, it was the transition from like a kind of, I didn't hate money, but I wasn't, you know, wasn't really interested in pursuing it in a certain way. That transition from like being an artist, I guess, you know, not a successful one, but like, you know, I thought of myself as an artist, to swallowing the economic red pill I've listened. So like, you know, that kind of process, because you don't get taught about economics and the financial system and financial education in school, and that transition for me was pretty life changing and like hard in a lot of ways. Yeah, really hard. I mean, when I was trying to make music and making music, it was like a permanent kind of existential crisis I was in, you know, like form before function, like, that there were a few songs, Summer Holidays versus Punk Routine. It's like, do you pursue that money to go on summer holidays, or do you stick to Punk Routine, or do you? So that was really hard for me to experience when I was younger. And I think, if I had a better, like a non-institutionalized education, maybe like homeschooled or something, and I was open to different things and I learned about, how currencies work, how economics works, how the financial system works, I might have been interested in that a lot more when I was younger. So, this in this day and age, school's almost pretty much just an indoctrination system. It's obviously they're designed for you to get jobs and work for the man and everything, and it makes sense. And there's a whole history to that, how that came about, but it wasn't really the case in ancient times. I think ancient Greece and stuff. It was people were thought to think critically and everything, and yeah, if I don't know, I'm just thinking if you're younger and you want to pursue different ideas and and you are a creative person, maybe I'm thinking that's the people I could possibly help. Yeah, you know, kind of just open the mind a bit maybe, and learn about new things, different philosophies. I mean, I was always open to learning different philosophies. You know, I'd read everything. I learned a lot from reading Dostoevsky and Tolstoy and fucking many other classics. But it wasn't really to do with, getting by in the world. So, yeah. Also wrote down learning about the nature of money and investment. Yeah, so.
I'm thinking like how to sell without being a sellout.
Yeah. Which is actually really important because, you know, I've always been sort of like pretty much an anarchist, sometimes seduced by socialism. So it's like I'd always believe in that freedom, but, you know, sometimes I think, oh, fuck, you know, universal basic income, maybe that'd be good. But like, and then, you know, coming to that realization that the exchange of goods and services is awesome. You know, you shouldn't be ashamed about selling something if it's good, or like, you know, you're trying to help people or something like that. So yeah, I guess you're right, Luka. That trying to transition to doing something true to yourself without, you know, like being a sellout, I guess, like in inverted commas. So yeah,
I guess there's a big fear for, you know, I think probably artistic people thinking that they have to sell their soul, you know,
I was like
to be successful. And I feel like that as well. Not that I was particularly an artist or a musician, but I certainly felt that, you know, to be making good money, you have to be some sort of bad person doing something bad to make a good wage or a good living.
That's right.
And it's a shame that,
man, it's
like I met a guy and his son. He said his son was a really good musician, like a really good songwriter, a really good rapper. But he didn't want to make an album. Like he made songs and wrote songs and sung them, but he didn't want to put them out because he was just like
it's all about the music sort of thing.
Yeah, he was kind of like that, all about the music, and he just didn't want to. I think he didn't want to tarnish the the authenticity, I guess, of the music,
the purity of it.
Yeah. Which I understand.
100% relate to that.
But I'm just like, I guess the wonder or the question that I would have is that only a matter of perspective? Like, can you change the perspective to show people that maybe making the music and putting it out there is actually better? You know, maybe you're more of a sellout for working at Coles and keeping that music to yourself and never putting it out because you're afraid you're afraid of selling out. But maybe the sellout is actually is the fact that you've got a gift and you don't share it.
Yeah, it's a good way to look at it. It's a good question to ask. You know, you should, like, any artist shouldn't really be ashamed of advertising their music or whatever. And I guess for me, I was horrible at that. I was like the worst. And maybe I felt like that a bit. You know, but also I didn't have any money to pay someone else to publicize, or, you know, but you know, there's also factors that stop me from just getting out there and playing gigs or whatever, personal limiting factors. But Yeah. So yeah, it's interesting, man. In your, yeah, if you were to think about this question, what would you do? Think about this. Like, what could you help people with a particular struggle you've been through?
I think for me, probably
Could be anything, man. Could be anything. Like, it doesn't have to be as hardcore as what I went through.
Yeah, I guess it's just I think there's just lots of things like self-image, body image, mindset, self-worth. I guess just
a struggle could also be like, you know, you felt tired because you walked too far, and how can we solve that problem of you being tired when you walk too far? You know, but yeah, all those factors are valid as well. Yeah, I'm just trying to like outline this scope.
Yeah, I guess and it could just come down to how do I always lose things? That could be
lose items or lose your sanity, or
maybe both. But I think items. I lost my cigar case, that little leather case today.
Oh no, where?
Don't know. I had it like. I had it in my.
Where did you have it?
In the leather bag that you gave me. I had it in the front pouch. I walked to the park, ended up playing a game of chess, and then after the game of chess, I went down, sat down to read my book, and reached in to pull out a Stoke cigarello, and it was gone.
Oh no, it's fallen out somewhere.
It must have. I don't know how though, because
it fall out of the bag.
It's a pretty deep bag.
Because it's a roll top bag. Oh yeah.
No, but it was in the front pouch. Turn it
upside down. Oh, could someone have stolen it?
Oh, I guess it's a possibility, but it just seems very unlikely.
It's in the front pouch. Yeah, pretty easy to steal.
I suppose, but
anyway.
I mean, I guess it was right next to me the whole time. Pretty sneaky, but
yeah. So okay, so you lose stuff. Now, how
I'm good at losing things. Yeah,
how can you help
things.
People not lose stuff?
Well, I'd probably have to figure that out for myself, or maybe bring a couple of people together and try and get them to figure out a solution.
It's a problem though, isn't it? I hate losing shit,
dude.
I remember I played a gig once in Perth. And I left my bag downstairs in the band room, and kept drinking after we played, and I tried to go back down to get it, and it was locked. I think it was locked, or they didn't let me down there or some shit. And this is probably like 3-4 in the morning or something. And I had this. Man, it was like my favorite red jumper, my favorite like collared shirt, but it was the red jumper that killed me because it was so cool. But yeah, it can be devastating losing something. Probably more examples, but how can we solve this, Luka?
We'll figure it out. We'll find a solution.
Figure it out.
That's what the business is for.
That's right. Moving on, what are you good at helping people with that they find difficult? So for myself, I'd say I'm decent at writing. I think I'm a good teacher if I can know enough about something to know how to do something, and I want to explain it, I can do that pretty well. And I can help people gaining understanding and clarity from this. So, yep, that's from the International Strategy website. Pretty straightforward. How about yourself, Luka?
Yeah, I guess just from going off what people have said to me, that I'm good at teaching people, like teaching things. I think probably from just more from a tree work kind of perspective, explaining things to people in a way that they can understand. People have said that I am good at listening and asking deep questions. I guess probably for me, I just am quite a deep thinker, so I just kind of do that automatically anyway. So yeah, I guess that's sort of a frequent thing that kind of pops up. And I think,
cool.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what I think maybe just trying to have. I think I'm probably okay at. I'm not sure what you would say, like holding space.
Specifically.
Maybe just trying to, like, I think people feel comfortable to open up to me. And share.
Oh, yeah, you're open-minded for sure, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
well,
I don't really know. I don't really know what I'm good at helping people with, to be honest. Yeah.
If people are comfortable with you, I mean, yeah, that's the reason why we've been friends for a long time, I guess. And you're good at teaching, so it could be a one-on-one sort of thing you could do. Yeah, cool. Well, that's something to think about. It's a good thought exercise, isn't it? What are you good at helping people with that they find difficult? So there could be stuff that you don't realize that you're good at, that you might actually have to think about. So yeah, I don't know. Something I'll think more about. If you could only make money after helping someone get a result, what result would you help them get? You want to go with that one first, Luka?
If you could only make money after helping someone get a result, what result would you help them get? A result that offers more value than the money that they pay.
Yeah.
So if someone pays me $1 million and I give them $2 million worth of value, that's good.
Return on investment, yeah.
ROI. Yeah. So
yeah.
10 to 1 on service and at least 3 to 1 on product.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. I think because everyone's got a different problem, I guess a solution to the problem and then an understanding as well. So
understanding.
You got the answer to the math problem in the back of the book, but you don't know how to get there. So I guess the solution, but also the roadmap to, making bank, but also the road to making bank.
The road to getting on the road to making bank.
Yeah, the solution and the journey.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I guess it's not too many different answers to this, is it? It's more like, you just making someone's life better somehow. I wrote down increased knowledge leading to a life, freedom and enjoyment. ROI, I wrote return on investment. So, yeah, I think I'm missing. I was meant to say lifestyle. Anyway, yeah, you're increasing your knowledge. If I'm providing you valuable content that you're going to learn from and your life is going to get better somehow, whether that be through more freedom, entertainment, enjoyment, and that's going to be the return, but it could be a psychological, emotional benefit, or it could be a financial one as well. If I'm talking about, if I write about precious metals investment or something. So yeah, that would be mine. Okay. Cool. Should we wrap this up there, Luka? This section?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Cool. That was pretty cool. It took a long time, but good exercise. All right. Vapes. You want to talk about this?
Are vapes a lead magnet for big pharma? Which is the topic of conversation.
Post this in a marketing forum or something.
Yeah, well,
they'll get a chuckle out of it.
You know, we were talking about lead magnets and people, you know, giving someone like an ebook, a free ebook to, you know, attract them to your page or give them a free gift or a bonus. And what we're asking is Big Pharma using vapes to attract people to their stores, to their business? Australia...
Pharmacies, yeah.
Pharmacies, yeah. Australia
Physical
is
pharmacies.
changing the laws where you'll only be able to buy vapes over the counter in pharmacies if you've got a script. So I guess that leads people to having to go into the shops, into the pharmacies to buy vapes. And then I suppose, I don't know what prescription you would need or whether they're going to offer other products as deterrents to smoking or using vapes. I mean, I think there's big fines. I don't know if they're enforcing them, but massive fines for having unauthorized
selling
vapes.
Yeah.
Well, just even being in possession.
Fucking Jesus. Well,
in the ACT, the penalty for unauthorized possession. Yeah, it says in ACT, the penalty for unauthorized possession is up to $32,000 or 2 years in prison or both. While in the NT in New South Wales, people could be fined or face 12 months in prison. Yeah.
What? Why don't they just make it $1 million? You know, just really fuck people over.
The criminalization of substances causes harm, particularly to young and vulnerable populations. Inability to get a job due to having a criminal record, experience of stigma and discrimination, or overall negative impacts on well-being. Young people with a criminal record also face higher rates of poverty and drug use issues, which increases the likelihood of future contact with the justice system. So yeah, it's pretty interesting. It's pretty harsh, but yeah. So I guess it's an interesting perspective when you think about from a business perspective.
Pharmacies will love it, yeah. And they'll stock all these vapes, and
if we put our business caps on, you could almost say that vapes are a lead magnet to draw people in. If you're the only person, if you're the only business that is allowed to legally sell them, then I guess you probably do have other products on the shelf that people might be interested in, like kind of like that. Do you want fries with that? The classic cliche.
Or if it's like, if the vapes, I don't know if vapes are damaging or not, but if they are, it's like, then they can sell them on the products that will solve the damage from the vapes, right?
Yeah.
It's the big pharma model, isn't it?
Do you want pills with that?
Well, pretty much. Yeah, you want pills with that vape. But I mean, could be a connection between, I guess, you know, lead magnet. It depends. I don't know if these pharmacies had anything to do with it. Like if they passed some brown paper bags under the table to get this regulation passed. Is it actually passed? Or they're going to do it?
They haven't said when, but apparently, you know, they're saying
it's happening.
The vape is a serious and urgent issue that needs to be dealt with. So, yeah. The Australian government has announced a suite of other changes to including stopping the import of non-prescription vapes, restricting flavors, colors, and other ingredients in vapes, requiring pharmaceutical-like packaging, reducing the allowed nicotine concentrations and volumes, banning all single-use disposable vapes. It says vapes can only be bought at a pharmacy with a prescription or through the personal importation scheme, which allows someone with a prescription to import nicotine vapes from overseas. Personal importation will soon end, and vapes will only be available with a prescription at authorized pharmacies in Australia. The import permit will be required to bring any e-cigarettes with or without nicotine into the country, and only pharmacies will be given permits. So there you go.
Yeah.
People who wish to
crack down.
It says people who wish to access vapes to help them quit smoking will be able to do so through a GP, with the government saying it will work to make it easier to get a prescription for legitimate therapeutic use.
Jesus. All right. Yeah. Well, my thoughts are the government.
Which would be interesting because I wonder. Yeah, I wonder what they'll be providing as an alternative. So let's say teenagers and whatnot trying to go in for prescriptions. I wonder if they would be offered something that might be teenager friendly as an alternative. We'll see. We'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, who knows, man? It's just so ridiculous, man. People should be allowed to put whatever they want in their bodies. And how about maybe, how about government reduce their ridiculous spending so people have more money, and maybe they wouldn't resort to chugging on a vape because there'd be more job opportunities, more transactions going on, and more opportunities. But no, it's the solution is more regulation, more bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm not against the banning of vapes, but I thought it was just more. I guess since we've been doing this podcast and learning about business, I just thought it was an interesting perspective, seeing vapes as a lead magnet for pharmacies.
Yeah, cool. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, if they banned vapes altogether, that I wouldn't really be bothered by that. And I wouldn't really see that as a bad thing because I don't think they're at all good for people.
Yeah, really? Okay. Well, that's a big... You think the government should be able to do that?
Sorry?
You think the government should be able to do that?
Well, I'm not sure whether they should or not. I guess I'm just saying that if it improves people's well-being, then I don't really have an issue with it. Because, I mean, it only exists because people wanted to make money providing a product that isn't good for people. So if it didn't exist,
yeah, okay,
you know what I mean?
Sort of thing.
It's not
Yeah.
like it's not a natural product apart from the nicotine, which I think exists. I think the body produces nicotine or something along those lines, where it comes in
naturally
occurring in something,
anyway.
Which is fine. If they banned fruit and vegetables and banned people from hunting their own food, and they ban you from being able to pitch a tent in the forest, that kind of shit's crazy. Because this is part of people's lifestyles, and it's part of the human nature, I guess. And
yeah, I guess the question there is, it's once you ban one thing, it's you leave it open to ban other things, and that's the slippery slope. So philosophically, I don't agree with it, but in practicality, yeah, it could reduce bad things. But generally speaking, it's people should be allowed to, in my view anyway, you should be allowed to do whatever you want, good or bad. I'd never use vapes, and if they're addictive, it's bad. But I don't know. Just got to try and get off them somehow. Yeah, but I understand what you mean. It's on a net,
Yeah,
Like
look, people, you
net
know, you
level.
can say people can do whatever they want, which is fine. But if vapes don't exist, then no one can use them unless they're making them themselves.
And what if someone makes a version of a vape that themselves and they go, would you be happy with that if they go to jail or whatever? Or like, you know.
No, I wouldn't. I don't think it's a justified punishment to put someone in prison because they made a homemade vape. No.
Yeah, cool.
But if they got rid of vapes, I wouldn't have an issue with that. If someone went and made their own one, their homemade one that they used, well, big deal. But I guess.
But what if they sell that to his mate for $5 or something?
Yeah. I mean, also, like I said, I don't have an issue with it, but I was just saying that if they didn't exist, it wouldn't be a.
It's more like a thought experiment. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't know. I like digging on this stuff a bit.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. I always think about if I had like a solution to cancer, like if I had the cure to cancer, like a genuine, like in a pill cure that you just take it and it just whatever cancer you've got in your body, you just clear it. I always imagine telling people that I would give it to the world, but everyone would have to throw away their televisions, and televisions could never be made again. And I would just wonder if people would do it or not.
Yeah, probably not. Hey, if you had to throw away your TV.
Yeah, like that's my thought as well. Like, I don't think people would do it. Like, I genuinely don't think. Like, people would probably demand that you make it free, but I don't think people would give up their TVs for the cure to cancer.
Yeah.
You know, like I genuinely don't think they would.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, you know, would you give up your TV to help someone not die for cancer?
No, not even that. It's
no.
No, that's like, would you give up your TV so that everyone could have access to the cure for cancer whenever they got cancer?
Yeah. Oh, that's pretty much the same thing.
No, but
like,
it's like, I mean, like, it's a free cure. Everyone gets access to it anytime, anywhere. But everyone in the world has to give up their TV, and no TVs can ever be made ever again. Like, I genuinely don't think people would do it.
Does that mean like computer screens as well?
No,
just TVs. Standalone TVs.
Just TVs.
Oh, yeah. Nah, people would be fucking hoarding their TVs down in the basement. Like,
yeah, that's what I mean. But I mean, if it was just like
stocking up on Doritos,
like if you had like a god system, like that could see everything, that knew exactly where every single TV was. And until every TV was destroyed, that the cure wouldn't be there. I genuinely don't think people would give up their TV for it.
No, man. I wish my opinion of people was higher these days, but it just isn't. So
no, but it's
pretty selfish.
It's not I don't know. I think it's more than that. I think it's more than just selfish or not selfish, but I think there's more to it. But for some reason,
it's deep.
It's deep. It's superficial, but it's deep.
Okay, we'll meditate on that. I will. Let's move on. Let's try and keep this podcast a little bit shorter today.
We're gonna smash through it.
Yeah, we'll smash through this last part. Business section. Currently working on a business. How's the progress? Or do you have any new business ideas you'd like to discuss? You had a chat with Sones this week, Luka? Last week? This week?
joined the Life by Design program with Aaron Sansoni. So had a deal room chat, which basically Aaron gets on the calls for 90 minutes once a month. People bring their deals to the table and ask for his advice. And spoke
nice.
to
So
him.
you get to see everyone's deals.
Yeah.
Get to hear about them. That's really valuable, actually. Yeah, that's cool.
And spoke to him about the bookstore, and he didn't really like it at all. Shut it down pretty quickly.
Cool.
Yeah. So I guess, it was kind of, I was very hesitant. I thought I was missing something. So I was very reluctant to let it go. But after everyone that I'd spoken to had told me not to do it, and Sones also reckons don't do it. Not one person has said that it was a good idea. So it's
I think for the upfront money, you got to really, when there's so much upfront money, it's like you really got to suss it out. It's not like something where you can, like what I've done. I haven't lost that much money, but it's peanuts compared to buying a physical business.
Yeah, I have put some inquiries out to other businesses. So a couple of marine businesses, like yacht businesses, like charter businesses, and also some like whale watching charter eco-tourist businesses, which is pretty interesting. Cool. So I got a couple of NDAs that I need to sign before they're going to give the details out. There's also like a rope back.
Tourism. Oh, well, like, boat whale watching and shit. Cool.
Yeah. I guess
what if there's another lockdown, Luka?
Well, I guess I'll have to live on a big boat on my own.
Just adjust for that risk. Just deck it out so you can live on it, and then so if they lock you down again, you're good.
Yeah, I think
get some cans of chickpeas. Luka.
I did send a link in the chat, Shernon, for you.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a 44 meter sailing super yacht.
Oh, nice. And it's part of the whale watching business, all right?
No,
or
this is
you just want to buy the yacht.
This is just something that came up, but it could you could turn it into a business.
So you're just looking at the yacht. Yeah, nice.
But
man, I'm all about the boat life for location independence and freedom.
Well, yeah, it's got two. It's got an owner, like a full owner's cabin.
I'll open it up.
I'll read it out. Accommodation. A discreet apartment with its own library, lounge, study area, anteroom.
Library.
With a bedroom spanning the full beam aft. This provides a retreat where the owner can enjoy a spacious private area to read, watch films, or attend to business affairs. Separate bathroom, his and her wardrobe, full-size desk, two-seater sofa, and adjustable wall-mounted TV. Adjoining the owner's suite is their private sitting room, complete with office, personal bar facility, and sofa, ottoman, and armchair. Guests, 2 double cabins, forward of guest lobby with an ensuite, leather-finished desk and wardrobes. Port cabin also has a concealed Pullman berth. Then you've got crew, 3 upper and lower berth crew cabins, each with an ensuite. So it's bloody decked out.
I'm looking at it now, man.
And
it's also $17 million. $17.5 million. So you're going to need to make some bank before getting this one, Luka.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could also just charge some expensive tickets to have an expensive experience, but there's a lot of...
No, it looks awesome. It looks sick. Like, yeah, fuck yeah. I'm digging it. Library. basically I would buy one of these if I was
I mean, if you had the
looking
money,
to
you'd get
cruise
one.
around the world. Yeah, absolutely. It just looks cool. It looks good as well.
Yeah,
Good,
it just
sleek design. I could live on that.
it's aesthetically pleasing to the eyes.
It is, and you know how to sail now, and that's cool. I reckon I want to see you on one of these boats in. Well, you're like 4 years younger than me. I want to see you by 45. I want to see you on one of these boats.
All right, that's 10 years.
Yeah, follow the what's that guy on Instagram? He was on Entrepreneurs and Cars. He lives on a boat.
Rich.
I can't remember his name. But there's a guy that's Entrepreneurs and Cars has interviewed in the past. I think he's been on a Playing to Win episode.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he lives the boat life, and
I sent you another
He gets
one.
people on board.
I even did some calculations.
All right, cool. All right, so if anyone is looking for a sailboat, Seaboats Marine Brokers, sales at seaboats.net, www.seaboats.net. If you have a spare 17.5 mil, this one is for you.
Yeah, I've sent you another one, which was a what is it? It was like a 45 meter dive yacht. Fits 34 people, and it costs 4.8 million. So if you sell a ticket,
it's cheaper
per person, $390 per person. If it's booked out for the whole year, you've paid it off.
Oh yeah, cool. I like it. So you're renting the boat out. All right, now we're talking. I didn't exactly know I thought you were just going to run tours or something. But if you're renting it out,
and it's like it's a dive boat, so it's got like diving tanks, like scuba diving gear and all that kind of stuff, like all kind of I guess
you want to take it to some
water marine activity stuff, so people can cruise around. I thought it'd be cool, like as a conference thing. People like businesses take their companies out onto the boat. They do some diving. They have some meetings and whatnot over a week. That.
Yeah, just make sure it's in, those international water jurisdictions where you can gamble.
Hey, why not? But yeah, I thought it'd be a pretty cool idea.
I like it, man. They're expensive though, so you're going to need to find an investor, right? Or some private equity company or something. But I dig it, man. I like your vision. Definitely. And maybe you can teach me to sail one day.
No worries. You'll be invited. You can come for free. Only once the boat's paid off though. Yeah.
All right. Gotta get that business going. All right, Luka has a new business idea. So, all right. So Sones doesn't like your book deal, but you're coming up with new deals. That's cool. Keep thinking about stuff.
Shernon, you've got some big news for the family.
Yeah, for myself, I've had a hard decision to make, but after putting quite a bit of work into like trying to start a creative agency, I guess, focused around podcast production and podcasting services. I've decided to pull the plug, at least put it on the back burner for now, after gaining a bit of traction. But basically, I don't really see it as a sustainable thing for me. So, and I was originally envisioning, because I wanted to do this content website business. Remember I was talking about that anarcho flow thing, Luka? I've been wanting to do this both alongside each other, but I've just quickly realized that I've been like feeling really overwhelmed recently, because I guess the main reason essentially the primary reason I'm here is I'm studying Thai language, and I do that 2 days a week, and it pretty much takes up the whole days. On those days, like at least half of it, 3/4. But like, I have this podcast, which I don't want to. I want to keep going, and this actually takes a long time as well. Essentially, probably nearly 2 days, a day and a half at least, do the work on the podcast and record it and everything. And I just don't have the time to do both. So I had to make a decision which way I'm going to go. And I've been learning, but the skills I've learned in this, the podcasting stuff and marketing stuff and sales funnels, building out websites, domain names, email, cold email, all this stuff, I can kind of, maybe not cold email, but I can carry over to the website business. So that's not too bad. I can envision things a lot clearer now, and it's made me excited about it. So I've decided to switch to just doing this content website business. I'm essentially starting from scratch again. I'll take the loss, I'll take the L. Maybe, I've learned a bit. It's something I can start up again, but essentially I'm seeing it as I failed, or I didn't make the right decision. That's cool. It's not much, but I essentially wasted $300 on continuing my subscription services when I was on the fence. I was making the decision: do I keep the outreach going with helping podcasts out, or do I stop it, focus on this business? But I let it slide. I let the subscriptions renew. So it stings. I haven't made use of the at least $200 US dollars that I extended, and but it's not that big a losses at the end of the day. Which is in the big scheme of things. So although it might hurt me a bit, so I'm just gonna keep going. I'm going to refine my vision for staying in Thailand now. There could be an end date because, I need to bring in money in eventually. So it could mean staying here another year, then moving to England, just getting a job, and I can keep doing the website thing. So it could be cool if I get something going before then. But, it depends if I renew my visa and all that, and so pretty much try and make the most of Thailand now and just try and make a lot of good content. And it's actually awesome because my condo now is like pretty much prime for doing this sort of business, because I'm gonna write blogs, but I think I'm gonna make that my primary source. I'm getting like mentoring coaching where saying you either go through video channel or you start with blogs, either one, because if you do both, it's going to be overwhelming. But I live in a condo now where it has this awesome co-working space, which is like prime for videos. It has a photography studio that I can book, it's got lighting in there and everything. So it's a private studio that I can reserve and use. There's this awesome, there's an air hockey table, like a private cinema room. And there's this awesome neon sign that says "Born Different." So that's the marketing slogan for my condo. You can Luka, you can jump in anytime you want.
I like it. I like "Born Different."
Yeah, which is essentially how I feel, pretty much. So I'm in a condo where the marketing slogan is "Born Different," which suits me to a T, I guess. And
is it like a condo for expats?
No, it's very local, man. I think it's probably only about 3 expats I've noticed in this building. And there's, I don't know how many, maybe about 80 apartments. It's like a boutique condo. Very good value.
Maybe you can put up, is there like a community wall or something where you can put up cards or notes or anything like that?
In the elevator, in the lift.
Should put up a message and try and get a group together. People who are interested in business or looking for potential, you might be able to find some clients there.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to, this and doing this sort of, pursuing this sort of business, it's much better for that kind of networking stuff because I won't have any costs. I don't have to fulfill services for clients. Like I don't have to edit 4 podcast episodes per week or whatever. I can do this sort of stuff on my own time, and yeah, that'll be cool. I want to do that. I was actually thinking about writing a article about the cigar lounge we go to, Cigarista, and my mate Wataya there, he's been going there for years, and I want to work with him and maybe interview him in the lounge or whatever. There's just so many cool things that ideas I've come up with, and but going back to the condo, it's like, this Born Different neon sign, it's like the perfect place to record videos, like, some helpful content videos for like, living in Thailand or visas or whatever, which I'll probably do eventually, but I'm probably going to start with blog first. So I'm in this space and it's like, man, I just got to like make use of it and do it. So yeah, like that's the future goals, I guess.
Nice.
Yeah. You like it?
I like it.
You the same?
Yeah. Maybe cool. You could film get your own neon slogan in your apartment.
Yeah, I could get one made because I've noticed those neon lights look awesome on people's YouTube videos.
Maybe get a road to making bank.
Maybe I'll get. Oh yeah. Well, if we want to record videos for this eventually, we should set it up pretty nicely at least. So yeah, Luka, get yourself one as well, or at least get a neon light of some sort.
Nice.
Cool. All right, let's move on. Should we? Maybe you want to just choose one of these next topics, Luka, or in the next section.
Yeah, I guess
truck license.
Truck license. Got my truck license, which went smoothly. Thank you to Aaron down at Armstrong's in Thomastown for helping me get my heavy rigid non-synchro mesh license. It was a fun 2 days, and yeah, got through it. There was a lot of grinding gears, but I think we got there in the end, and it was a pass. So happy with that.
Well done, man. Good stuff.
Got my Free Houses in Japan book by Anton Warman. It's about buying abandoned houses in Japan. So yeah, just going through that, read a chapter a week out in the park. So that's been really good. I find it interesting, and every time I read it, it inspires me to want to buy a plane ticket to Japan. So certainly
it's a
on
page
the list.
turner, yeah.
Yeah, it is.
You're enjoying it? That's cool, man. It means you're excited. Yeah.
And then, I was wanting to do a bookkeeping course. Everyone's been saying that if you're going to start a business, just do a basic bookkeeping course just so you can keep an eye on where your money's going and what people are doing with it, especially if you're employing someone else to be handling your money. You want to just make sure that you've got an understanding of, what's happening with it.
Cool. Yeah, it's a good idea. Why not? Can't hurt and should be pretty easy. So yeah. All right, man. Let's skip to our goals for next week. What do you want to achieve in the next week, Luka?
So got a couple of discovery calls. So one person from the Sansoni course that I did, Dean. So I can't really remember what we spoke about, but he sent me a message last week and wanted to follow up and catch up for a chat, so do that. Another one with Matt, who is the podcast guy. I just had a chat with him, and he said he was working on a few things for his podcast, and so I just asked him if he wanted to maybe have a chat and just brainstorm a few ideas, and he was happy with that, so do that. And then just got a couple of The last deal room with Sones. Got a white party on tomorrow, so should be fun.
Nice.
Bit of excitement. What about you?
Lots of Sone stuff. So with those discovery calls, did you say they were guys from the Empire Mastery thing?
One guy was, and one is not. The other one's from the dips.
Oh, yeah. Just having calls to shoot the shit and work stuff out. Yeah, nice.
Yeah, so that'd be cool.
Cool. Yeah, me, I guess I've simplified my routine a bit now. So it'll just be Thai study, working on this podcast, and working through my Miles Beckler course, and just getting I just want to work through the first video at least, and then I'll start building a website. I've bought hosting, and yeah, just taking those first steps to build the site, which I'm hoping I can do pretty fast. And then yeah, nothing else. Cigar Lounge on Friday, and yeah, I went to a cool secondhand market. You know, I was talking about going to the secondhand market. I bought some cool shirts, and for like $2 each. Awesome secondhand market in Bangkok called Patavakorn Market. So I might go there again at some point. And I need to go to IKEA. There's been like this new massive shopping center opening right in the middle of the city with an IKEA. So I might do that. Yeah, man.
IKEA meets Thailand. Nice.
Yeah, it's there is one that I know of here in Bang Na, but this one is like smack bang in the middle of Sukhumvit. And apparently the shopping center is pretty cool. I've seen a couple of videos. You know, they have kind of art installations. It's Bangkok do shopping malls awesomely. So I've never been into malls, but I kind of just want to go to check it out, see what it's like, because it looks cool, and they got lots of unique stuff there. So I think they have like a car show and all these exhibition spaces and stuff. So
open up a shop there.
Yeah,
Digs.
I have to get a work permit. Shit, man. Well, that could be an thing. You know, I get a work permit and just get a job here or something.
Not get a job. Open up a store selling very fine cigars.
Oh, my mate Mataya was wants to maybe do something cigar based. So
nice.
Maybe, man. I'm very interested in cigars now. I actually had a really nice one on Friday. It was a Nicaraguan. It was a light looking one. Really kind of like evening cigar, they call it. It's super tasty. I think it was called a Maduro. Not Maduro. Anyway, the company started with them. Usually I just getting the cheapest ones, but yeah, it's nice. So yeah, you know, cigars, I really do like them, and the cigar and whiskey culture and all that. So yeah, you
nice.
know, I want to write about it at least. But yeah,
I like it.
Maybe a business in Bangkok could be cool, in Thailand. Physical business.
That in
Not
itself is a cool name. Business in Bangkok. Sounds like a movie.
Get down to business in Bangkok. Business in Business in Bangers. Business in Bangkok. Yeah. I'll put it on the list, mate. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Thanks again for joining us, everyone. Yeah, and thanks, Luka. We'll
cheers, Diggs. If
there's some more juicy info for next week.
Anyone in the audience has any questions or any comments, please hit us up.
Let us know. Maybe you could let us know if these are too long or short enough. But I don't know. We like doing the long ones, but you know, maybe we could make these shorter, I guess. But or maybe we'll break the content up. So who knows? So
yeah, we gotta see how our where our scores at. See if we're doing better or worse.
Yeah, I think they're staying around 600 or something.
All right. So might have to make some active.
I have seen them, but I've been seeing them, but I haven't been writing them down. But I think we did better this one, maybe. Yeah.
I don't know.
You just said it. It's hard, hey? It's so hard.
I think we might have to make some proactive choices about working our way around it.
Just think clear, speak clearly. Any podcasters out there, you're going to be battling the ums at some stage. So don't fret. You'll get past it, even though we probably haven't yet. But I think we're getting better. We're definitely getting better.
We're getting there.
All right.
Nice one.
Cool. Catch us later, everyone. Take it easy.
See ya.